a lot of things are deemed quote unquote millennial by Gen Z when it's just not cool anymore.
Picture me first day of school walking in. I was like, ooh, look at my hair.
That's really cute though.
This, I am so sorry.
This is ugly. Imagine it, I named my son Remi Cruz Parsons.
Your impact.
The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Pretty basic.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Pretty Basic. I am Remi Cruz.
And I am Alisha Marie.
Alisha Marie.
Alisha Marie.
You look so cute and ballet core today.
Thank you. I saw these shoes. Here's the thing. The Instagram ads get me.
Yep, same.
You know how you can turn off how it tracks so you get tailored ads?
No.
You can.
Okay. I did not know this. I should.
I've purposely said no because I feel like I find such cute things from Instagram ads.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like these little ballet shoes because obviously, you know, ballerina chic, ballet core is in. Obviously, like the Miu Miu ones are iconic, but I'm sorry, I cannot justify spending so much money on such a trendy item that I don't even know if I really like.
They're really cute.
These
For
are really
the
cute.
audio listeners, they're like little pink ballet flats with a little heel and like straps. They literally look like my ballet shoes that I wore as a kid.
It also came with lace to like lace up.
So cute.
I know. It was really cute. I did already scuff it though. Do you see?
You know, oh, that's okay. We have shout wipes in the back.
You're so right.
I used to love a ballet flat in middle school. I remember I wore them with my uniform like every single day. And then there was a time where I realized they look horrible on me and you could have not paid me to wear a ballet flat. And did I just buy a black pair and a white pair the other day? Yes.
No.
And I think they're cute again.
This is actually a good topic because the trends that are happening now are trends that we've already experienced.
Yes.
Like ballet flats. I also was in middle school wearing no socks and had ballet flats.
Rank
and
ass feet.
the way, like it's a universe that I'm shocked that I even got these because I'm still scarred from me wearing my Payless, ballet flats.
Love to pay less.
I would wear those to the ground. You never wore socks because you couldn't. Finally, they came out with the little Peds one.
Yeah.
But those don't do shit no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, they're great socks, but for a smelly teenager, like, rancid.
You know what? What is it about this like ballet flats being the most rank shoe of them all?
Well, I think it's because you sweat. There's, like, no fabric. Like, it's just...
There's no way for the smells
feet
to
to
escape.
breathe.
Yeah, there's no holes. Yeah, there's something about a ballet flat that is just smell.
Well, one, back then, trends lasted longer. So you would wear the same trend, like you'd wear the same shoes all year.
That's so true. Yep.
Versus now I feel like, you know, I won't wear these shoes every single day. So maybe they get time to air out. Like maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
My feet, I don't know why I'm exposing this, but like my feet used to smell so bad, like wearing my shoes all day at school, coming home. I'd have to buy those like sprays. Did you have a spray
Yes.
where you like, shh, and it would just spray like
Yes.
to deodorize the inside of your shoe? Nasty.
But also I'm like, is that just like
Maybe it was
adolescence
puberty
and
too.
puberty?
You're
Yeah.
running, you're sweating, you're trying to make it to class. Yeah, maybe it is that.
And yeah, you're wearing them all day. Oh my God. So going to the fact that trends are coming back, like ballet flats.
Ballet flats. I mean, I think even the word core, calling it ballet core, calling it
Cottage-core.
The word core, I believe one would distinguish now as millennial, right? Millennial core, if you will.
You know, I don't know about millennial, but I do like now it's coded. You know,
But
that's
saying
so
isn't
something
is
coded.
coded also millennial now?
I feel like coded is more Gen Z.
Okay, so we wanted to have a little discussion with you guys today because when we were in Asia, we were obviously filming everything that we did, all the content, all the TikToks, and Alisha started to get some comments on her TikToks about me and my sock usage.
Oh, and you were like, why are people saying this about my socks?
People were like, Remi, not the socks, Remi, the ankle socks, really? And I was like, oh my God, did I do something wrong? And I was not aware that I guess ankle socks are now quote unquote millennial.
Well, and also most of our demo here is, I want to say millennial or younger, or, you know, on the cusp kind of Gen Z. It's just such a funny discussion, like you said, because I distinctly remember when if you had high socks, you were I'm going to say a nerd for lack of a better word, but it was like not cool
Yes.
to wear high socks.
Yes.
You only wore...
As a millennial when we were young.
Yes. You only wore ankle socks.
Yes.
Now, do I think those are a little more flattering on my legs?
Yes.
Because they elongate.
Yes.
But now people are saying you can tell who's millennial or who's Gen Z based off of their socks, because Gen Z only wears like crew socks or higher socks.
I just have to say, as someone with short, chunky legs, if I wear a crew sock with a skirt or a shorts or something, it only emphasizes the thickness of my calves.
Yep.
Like that's, and the thickness of my thighs. And that's fine. I just personally don't want to emphasize that.
And that's the funny thing, because it's like, I'm not saying any of these trends by themselves are wrong. It's just when you've lived through it and you're like, wait, we know the reason why we left the original one, but for it to come back around and be the opposite of the trend,
yes,
it is very weird.
To me, also, a lot of things are deemed quote unquote millennial by Gen Z when it's just not cool anymore. Like being a millennial is not cool.
I truly mean this when I say this. I think the only reason why Gen Z doesn't roast millennials even harder is because Taylor Swift herself is a millennial.
That's what you said. I think that she gets a lot of flack for being the millennial chuggy queen, which I know now even saying chuggy is millennial. Yeah. It's like anything like coded to me is Gen Z, but like as soon as it's not cool to say anymore, it's like so millennial.
Well, no, yes, because by the time it trickles down to millennials, then people are like, wait, we don't say that anymore. Yeah. Similar to like fashion trends. Like I feel like fashion trends in like New York or LA, like they'll start, but then by the time like a trend hits like the Midwest, we're like, oh my God, we did that last year.
Movies,
or music,
yeah.
like whatever the case is. So I don't know. It's really interesting seeing how short trends are now and how quick it's like, no, that's out of date. We're again, when we grew up back in our millennial days.
Well, and
I was born in 93. You were born in 95. So
yes.
I will say I was always the younger of the millennial. You were really on the cusp. I was still younger millennial.
And here's the thing. I identify more as a millennial than a Gen Z for sure.
Yeah.
I do not have any Gen Z qualities, but the age range, millennials, also known as Generation Y, are people born between 1981 and 1996. And I'm 95. So I am a millennial. I identify like 98% with millennials for sure.
But I will say too, because of our jobs, we're so aware of like newer trends and like just what's popular. Like if I told Ashley, I should tell her the sock thing, she would be gagged.
Really?
Like she's not aware of that. You know what I mean?
And
she's still,
I wasn't either.
Well, yeah, you know what? And you're right. But like, it's weird how, I don't know. It's so weird. Do you remember the first thing that you felt called out? Maybe it was the socks. Do you remember the first thing you felt called
Chuggy.
out on was chuggy?
Chuggy.
I never liked the word chuggy.
I love it.
I like, it just sounds, I don't know. I don't love the word. So I feel like I didn't say it that much.
I heard it and I was like, oh my God, I am that.
You know what's funny is I understood, like with chuggy, I remember being like, yes, live, laugh, love on the wall. Like that Pinterest era.
Bath and Body Works candles.
Yes. Just like that, like those things. I don't know. I distinctly remember being like, that I know what they're talking about. The first time I felt read to filth was the millennial pause. Which I'm so glad I saw a TikTok that was like, no, it makes sense because we grew up where you didn't know if it was going.
Yeah, it's so true.
Like you didn't know. We were like, oh, is this recording? I have to check. I have to look in the viewfinder. I have to check if something's recording.
You're so right.
Versus now, like kids are so used to, they understand what a video camera is. You know what? It shows that they didn't steal their family like home video camcorder from their parents and had to figure it out for themselves.
That for sure. It just perplexes me how, for some reason, specifically Erica-titis to me is like Gen Z. Like that is the epitome of Gen Z in my brain. And like standing there and making TikToks with her before, like there is no pause. Like she just like, as soon as she's almost talking before it goes, and it's like so perfect every time. And I just don't understand. Like I start talking when I see the ring going around, which then creates the pause.
Well, you don't want it to be cut off.
Exactly. But how do they do it perfectly every time?
That. And then I feel like they like fix themselves and like fix their hair or whatever before hitting recording fully, or they don't at all. Maybe I'm just used to the YouTube world. I'll like record on my vlog camera. I'll like fix whatever. And then I start talking. So I just like, I see me doing the millennial pause and I'm like, oh, we got to cut that.
TikTok for real is like what really just emphasized my lack of skills and my millennial pause for sure. We have a list of things here. Shall we go through and see if these are a list of quote unquote millennial things, and we can have a little discussion about them. First off was millennial pause. I identify with the millennial pause.
I do too.
Distressed jeans.
I fucking love my distressed jeans. Okay. I love them.
I have always and will always hate distressed jeans.
See, I will say, if they were skinny jeans with rips, I'm picturing my 2016 Topshop era. That to me is very outdated.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like if it fits the vibe, I love
like
it.
Like a baggy distressed. I've never ever, even when they were popular and got really into the distressed jeans.
That's crazy.
But I think it's because you really have to, like your shirt has to match it. You can't wear like a floral top and distressed jeans. I mean, you can, but it just doesn't super match. And as someone who has like a girlier style or who did at one point, I feel like I would never wear distressed jeans because I didn't have a shirt to match.
Interesting.
But that was just my thought process.
I always just felt like distressed or the wash like really like contours the jeans. So I always hated a flat wash on jeans. I felt like it wasn't as flattering for me.
I hate those specific Forever 21 jeans that had the rips at the kneecaps.
I smell it. No, that's what I mean. 2016, like that like Topshop era with the skinny jeans.
Hated.
I hated skinny jeans, even when that was the only thing you could have at the time.
I don't hate them. I mean, I wouldn't wear them right now. No, I have a few pairs because here's my question. What do you do if you want to wear jeans and like tuck them into boots?
See, I think I never really like that on me.
Okay.
So I think for me, I'd rather wear like a skirt or something like that. But I understand, like I oh my God, I always was like, so Gen Z, like I'm so curious for people who like shit on a side part, right? Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure is on the list somewhere. And only talked about middle part. And now it's like, oh, well, now that you're, because the thing is most of those people haven't experienced when trends change, you know? Because we experienced middle part when we were growing up, and then it turned to side part, and side part was like, oh my God, how have we never done this before? This is so much better. And then it went back to middle part. So obviously side part's going to come back again.
Yeah.
And I made a TikTok. I was like, I'm just curious, like there's no right or wrong answer, but like if you're Gen Z, how does it feel now that like things have changed, you know, like the side parts are coming back. Like, I saw Emma Chamberlain have one in a shoot. It looked so fucking good. Kylie Jenner had one. It looked so good. And I was just like, oh, like there's a time and place. Like it looks so good.
What was the response?
Oh my God. Well, I feel like I got the nice people being like, I think whatever suits you, you should do. But I was like, no, but there were people being like, ew, you fucking millennials and your side parts. And I'm like, bitch, just wait till you have a side part because you will. Or your kid has a side part and is like making fun of your middle part. Like that's literally the funny thing about trends and like growing up.
It's just the trend cycle. Like even when Juicy Couture came back, at one point, like Juicy was the biggest thing ever. Then it wasn't cool. And then it like they had this huge comeback. Like
my favorite thing too is when, and look, I've done this too in my life. Okay. So like, we'll just say that. So like I'm roasting myself. My favorite thing though is when I come across TikToks of people like thinking they found this trend. Like they're like, oh my God, you guys, I found this niche like trend that like, or like, it's not even a trend. It's like, I like having my bangs to the side instead of like, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, LOL, like you think you invented baggy jeans and you didn't. Like we grew up with like, do you remember the crazy bell bottoms and like the super, super, super baggy jeans?
Yeah, but also like those were from like the 70s. Like it's nothing new. It's all recycled and comes back and back and back. So like also I think a lot, there are things that I have now or things that I have had that I need to hold on to for like 20 years from now.
Or like
that
for
I
my
can pass
kid.
down or I can keep them. Like my Dooney and Burke purse from when I was a kid. I had that in my parents' house still. And I remember at one point it's like, ew, you don't wear that anymore. And now it'd be so like the Y2K that obviously came back. That was so huge. Boom, right there.
Also for going off of that, like, I mean, 10 years ago was 2014 and 2014, I just think of the DIY studded shorts.
Did you just see Wildflower came out with their case again?
Yes.
The DIY stud. I think of like the tie-dye shorts that were
Andrea's
so
choice.
Popular. Yes.
Like those, I remember.
Brandy Melville.
I remember thinking once we were out of that phase, like, wow, I'm glad that'll never come back because it was very like dated. You know what I mean?
That's also like, we don't need to bring that one back, like full throttle.
You know what it is for me? Bubble necklaces. Those can stay.
Peplum tops, honestly. I don't need
an old episode of Vanderpump Rules forever ago when Stassi was still on it, and she had her like necklace line and they were all statement necklaces, and in her confessional she's like, I just like statement necklaces are like my thing, so I just want to, and I was like, LOL. Like
so of the times,
it just brings me back to a very specific time in my life.
Arm candy.
And here's the thing, catch me in a year wearing a fucking bubble necklace and being like, oh my God, I'm loving that. Like I will do that. I get it. I'm aware I get it. I'm that person.
I feel that too. What are some trends that you remember growing up that you never adhered to?
Ooh.
I was thinking feather extensions.
Oh my God. I always wanted a feather extension, but I would always, instead, I wore a feather earring and I purposely would wear one so it looked like.
Would your mom have let you got one if you wanted one?
I think I was old enough to like get one, but I was just like, it's so permanent. Like,
So permanent. It was one bead.
I know, like in my head, it was like a bigger D. I don't know. I feel like then I didn't change my hair often or anything. Like I didn't see it as an accessory. I saw it as like, oh, this will be in my hair forever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even when I would get my hair cut or like dyed or colored, it wasn't like, oh, I'll do this for a few months until I change it. It was, this is forevermore.
That makes so much sense as the adult who you are right now. I remember I've always my whole life been behind on trends. Like always, even with the feather extensions. I remember being like, everyone had them at school. I was like, how did people find out about this and where are they getting them? Like I didn't understand. And I feel like that's me as an adult too, where like I'll either be like, I don't need it. And then finally like 3 months later when it's like almost done, I'm like, okay, fine, like, I'll try it. It's my inner Aquarius. But there were like so many trends growing up that I wanted to participate in.
A perm.
Oh, you didn't? You
I never
got
had a perm. I remember a lot of my friends had one, and I wanted
like
I think
curly perm or like wave,
poodle, like curly.
They were getting curly perms.
Yeah,
there was like that was big at my school.
It was very like 90s. So I feel like when I was in elementary school, a lot of the older girls had it.
Really?
And I remember being like, I want a perm. Thank God I didn't. Talk about permanent.
I told you, truly, I told you about the story how I got a perm when I was a kid, but I didn't get a curly perm. I got a wavy Korean perm. And my mom was like, you should get one. I was in middle school and I had already chopped my hair because my hair was like getting really dead. And so we chopped it pretty short. And then on top of that, she was like, let's get a perm. So not only did I chop it, and it was already short, getting the perm obviously makes your hair curly, which makes it shorter. And I left the salon in like, I've never felt worse about myself. I just felt, and you're already like going through a lot in middle school. So ugly. I was just like so upset. And I remember it was raining outside though. And so I ran, my mom drove me to Kaylee's house and I was crying and I remember running through the rain. But as we know from Legally Blonde, rain or water will disrupt the perm. So luckily it all came out.
Oh, you purposely wanted to?
No, I didn't know what was happening. On accident, I ruined it. And honestly, blessing in disguise. I did get that perm.
Wow. I also, what's about middle school fucking sucks, dude.
So sad.
I chopped my hair before 7th grade. And
like bob?
Like
bowl cut?
Well, here's the thing. It was bob. It was very, 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 very short. And I had cut my hair, you let it grow out and then you chop it. Like I'd had short hair a lot growing up, but tell me why like I wanted to be Josie from Josie and the Pussycats. Obviously she plays guitar. She's in a girl band. Like,
so cute. Yes. The pink leopard.
Oh my God. I like wanted to be her. So I chopped my hair, not thinking about, like you said, when you curl it or when you do it, it gets shorter. And she has super flipped out hair.
Yeah.
So I spent probably a solid hour the first day of school of 7th grade putting hairspray and gel in my hair to flip it out. It was a helmet.
Was it like smoking to put gel and then straighten on top of that?
Well, I like straightened. I just like the way that I kept being like, it's not curly enough. Like, how do I didn't know how to do hair. So like, I remember going into school and like now looking back, I mean, damn, she had confidence. Let me tell you. I walked into school like, woo, look at my new hair. And I just remember people being like, oh, I like your hair. Like it was so obviously different. So people are going to compliment you even though they don't think it looks good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But maybe they really did.
I don't think so. I'm going to be honest. I think they were just like being nice. They were just like, oh, I like your hair, And I was like, oh my God, thanks. It's like, shh, like, it's like
crunchy.
Like,
yeah.
Like
tongue hulu.
No, literally, Remi. So I'm like working. I'm like, yeah, this is so good. And then I remember my
cheeks are
my 7th grade. We got our school photos done, and
do you have the hair?
I have the hair
memorialized forever. Good.
It's memorialized. And when I tell you, like, even when I was a senior, other classmates would joke about my 7th grade photo.
No,
they were like. People would talk about like bad photos and then they'd be like, but have you seen Alicia's 7th grade photo?
And it was that bad.
By that time, I thought it was funny because I agree. You know, when you would go, oh my God, core
Ash
memory.
didn't tell you it was bad.
You know what? There were times she'd like try to tell me things, but I'm like, you're my sister. I'm not listening to you. I think this is a moment that I feel bad for kids if they haven't experienced this. Now that everything's online, I'm assuming, like, do they even do physical yearbook photo, like school photos?
I would hope so.
Can someone confirm in the comments, please? Because when they came around to your class and was like, oh, we have your photos, and then they would pass them out. Did you ever have that?
No.
Really? How'd you
They would
get
just, you'd have to go pick up the envelope and your photos were in
maybe
there.
a small school. The teacher would pass them out once they got them.
Oh my God.
So, and they would always be face down. Thank God. And like, you take a breath and you're like, this is my moment. I hope it turned out okay.
Not the America's Next Top Model.
No, literally, like you have 4 frames. You know what I mean? You're like, did they choose a good one? You know? And then you'd flip it over. I'm not kidding. Every single time. Oh my God. I got humbled so quick. I'd be like, oh, so bad. So bad.
Would they allow redos?
I think if you like missed,
Oh,
but
my
also,
school would be like, come redo it.
yeah, but I feel like, especially because it just costs more money. Like my mom didn't even want to pay for the retouching on shit. She was just like, oh, like get whatever. Like I'm not paying $150 for these photos that like you're half blinking in.
Is Life Touch still a thing?
Life Touch was it.
Yeah. Are
So
they still around?
I would pray that they have a forever catalog of everyone's photos so I can like find that.
I've actually driven by the headquarters. It's in Minnesota.
Okay, one iconic. We need to go.
I bet all the photos are somewhere
I feel like
in there.
after 10 years they get rid of it, right?
I mean, if they were doing like everybody's, and they've got to be somewhere. They have to be.
I have one photo that's in black and white, but in my head I see the color. I need to like colorize it or something. It was so bad. So the universal feeling that maybe it's a good thing kids don't experience it if it's all online or whatever. When people would be like, let me see your photos.
I will say, I think it comes with like its pros and cons though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like then everyone's like, oh, let me see. And then, you know, you're kind of like, oh no, it's fine. And then someone of course looks great.
One time Alisha did a video before we were friends, before we were close, and you had people react to your old photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been begging for her to do another one because now I would be able to be in the video. Now I was supposed to be in the video and I would love to react.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Say that to my face.
It's not that bad. The hair it sounded worse than you described.
Again,
it really did. It's not that bad.
This is black and
Oh,
white.
is that Ashley next to you?
Yep.
Why are you guys next to each other?
McDonald.
You guys didn't separate by grades?
No, because we had literally like no one went to our school.
Oh my God.
Like it was so small. So
That's really not that bad.
Remi.
It's not.
Remi.
The hair is not that bad.
Look at my smile. You need to see the photo.
The face is different.
Look at all my acne.
The hair.
She was going through it.
Yeah.
She was. That was my smile.
7th grade
they
is
said
rough.
smile. So many people were like, "You weren't ready," and I was like, "No, I was."
You, like, you don't. It's not that bad.
But like, you would never think that's me.
But people made fun of that for years. Like, it's not that bad.
No, they weren't making. It was like my friends being like, "Ha ha ha."
You look cute. You
I
kinda
look like a toe.
You just look like a boy.
I do.
You look just like a little boy.
Like the black and white makes my hair look so dark when I have light brown hair because that's how much gel I had in my hair.
It's really like it's not that bad. I promise you.
I don't know, dude.
Everybody has a bad 7th grade photo. I'm not lying. Like, is everybody else in the room? It's not that bad, right? Laura said it's bad. It's definitely like, it's not great, but it's not. You made it sound like it was the worst photo ever.
I don't know. That's pretty damn bad.
Really?
If someone's life depended on it, I don't think they would think that's me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just think like everybody, like no one looked good in 7th grade except for the girl above you. Like no one looked good in 7th grade. So I'm like, everyone needs their bad 7th grade photo.
No, I agree. The thing is the kids now don't have them because
also it's not fair because Ash is 3 years older than you. So like she's not in that awkward stage anymore. I bet the girl above you is also out of her awkward stage.
Ashley's definitely in the awkward stage.
Like, but it's not as bad as your awkward stage.
Well, yeah, because again, 7th grade.
I'm sure hers from 3 years ago was also bad. We need to see all the 7th graders laid out together.
I'm just, okay, I'll show you. I'll find a class photo. Of course, my friends were like freaking so pretty and like natural and whatever. And I'm sitting there like.
I'm telling you, I don't think the hair is that bad. I think the face is not the best.
The face is so bad. The fact that I literally was like, oh my God, my photos are coming. I bet they're going to look so good. I spent so much time getting ready. And then I flip it over and I see that. It's okay. You can make fun of it. Like, it's funny.
No, I would make fun if there's something to make fun of. I think we all have awkward middle school photos. I think your hair doesn't look as bad as you explained.
Okay. Face
card does decline.
Decline. No, but it's fine because I truly like you get humbled at an early age.
Also, if you are gorgeous and if you peak in middle school, if you peak in high school with the looks, like no one wants that.
No,
like we
right?
all collectively need to be ugly in middle school, you know, through high school, and then it leaves room to grow.
No, like my biggest flex is that I just keep having glow ups. Because when you start at the fucking bottom, it can only get better.
It leaves you room to be hot in college and after.
You don't think I was hot then?
In 7th grade?
In that photo. Picture me first day of school walking in. I was like, ooh, look at my hair.
That's really cute though.
No, it's cute because it's funny because again, we had those awkward years. Now Gen Z doesn't because they're watching tutorials and wearing drunk elephant and YSL lip gloss.
No, it's crazy that they
disturbing.
Just skipped over. Like they don't have this.
Not that I never want anyone to be confident, but like I'm grateful for those years for me.
I want to hug you.
No, like I wish I could
hug this photo of you.
And I would wear the same sweatshirt, the same blue Hurley sweatshirt every day.
I think what makes it like sadder and cuter is you being like really excited. Like that's what's so like that's
until
sad.
I was like, I did. You know what? I did get my braces off soon after that, so that was another.
See, glow up.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. There were some things that were said to me in middle school that like stuck with me forever. That while I wouldn't want that to ever happen to me again, it made me stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It
as
does.
Kelly Clarkson said.
It built character, and I feel like it prepped me for a lot of shit that I endured later on in life. Like I think you kind of need that time. And you need parents that are gonna, you know, make you feel beautiful.
So like, do you let your kid have an awkward stage?
Yeah.
But like now, they don't have them. I would never want my daughter or son to feel
endure.
less than.
Yeah. But what is creating these kids to not have awkward stages? Is it like makeup earlier on? Is it just knowing makeup application?
I think it's like social media and tutorials and watching other girls their age who look it was hard enough when there was like a girl who was really pretty in your class who all the guys liked, let alone if she was like full beat face and like a certain way and wearing a push-up bra and all this shit. Like I could only imagine being like, oh, well, that's what I have to do to look even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Keep up with the beauty standard of the middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends when you get there because, I mean, when we were growing up, it's like, you know, you couldn't have a phone till this time. You couldn't wear makeup till this time. Like, it just depends on your parenting style.
Yeah, but I
guess.
also don't want my kid like out of the loop being the only one who like doesn't have like social media or something.
If you're watching the YouTube channel, then you can see that we have some gorgeous products sitting out here.
Bombshells have entered the villa.
They're right here walking in. Dun, 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 dun. So we have here the new Dove Serum Shower Collection. There's actually different body washes in this collection. There's Hydration Boost. It's formulated with 6% hydrating serum with hyaluronic acid.
Next, we have Acne Clear, formulated with 1% clearing salicylic acid.
And then we have Glow Recharge, which is formulated with 3% brightening serum with exfoliating minerals and vitamin C.
And last but not least, the Vitality Renewal, formulated with 4% restoring serum plus collagen and pure glycerin. The Vitality Renewal is my favorite. It's the purple
tried that one yet.
It smells like summer.
I love the Glow Recharge because it has these like little like exfoliating like beads kind of things in it, like a texture to it. It just helps slough off all of the sweat and the dirt that I have accumulated throughout the day in the hot summer sun. Also, as somebody who struggled with acne for a lot of my teenage years, the Acne Clear was something that I feel like I wish I had
We can't
back.
just have our face looking glowy. We need our body to feel glowy and just hydrated and stuff.
Fun fact, the skin is the largest organ of the body.
Another fun fact is that Dove is the #1 dermatologist recommended body wash brand.
And I'll do you one better. The collection is also plant-based, paraben, and sulfate-free.
Well, dang. No, seriously, all jokes aside, these products are amazing.
You really need to try these out. They are incredible. And it's also awesome because Dove teamed up with dermatologists and beauty experts to bring you this amazing new collection that basically brings expert skincare into your shower. Thank you again to Dove for sponsoring this episode of Pretty Basic.
I remember being the youngest, which I know you weren't, so you don't relate to this. But like Ashley had to wait till she was a freshman in high school to get a phone, where I got one in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Because I was doing cheer and I convinced my parents, I was like, well, I'm going to be going to a lot of away games and it was cheaper for the family plan just to like add it sooner or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was an easier thing.
Yeah.
So I got my phone earlier and I remember feeling so cool because I had a phone.
I thought you were going to say, I remember feeling so bad for
No,
Ashley.
I was like, this thing lights up. My Nokia. Love it.
I think I was obviously the Ash, and I'm sure Ash was really upset because I had the exact same stuff happen to me and Shane. And I don't know, it's easier said than done. When I have kids, obviously it's going to be, I'll have to, figure that out with Cal. But I will take on parenting with my oldest kid in mind, knowing what I went through, and Cal's also an older sibling. So like we both are aware of like feeling left out and feeling like things aren't fair and feeling like the guinea pig. So I think we're going to really parent with that in mind.
I love
so
that.
I think, and what I've said for a long time, and granted, again, when I have more than one kid, if I ever have more than one kid, maybe my thoughts will change, but I want to try and make it as fair so that the older kid doesn't feel what I went through. Granted, at the end of the day, like it's not that big of a deal, but when you're young, it feels like the end of the world.
Yeah.
It really does.
I was like, wait, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Like I
had to wait. I had to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I remember growing up with so many like groups of sisters, and by the time I got to like the second, third, fourth, fifth, I had friends that were like 6 sisters in a family, and you know, like the older siblings always had to, you know, couldn't wear makeup till you're 16.
Yeah.
And then by the youngest one, they're like, literally, go ahead. She was like 7. They're like, we don't care. You know what I mean? Like I get that it's different. You kind of just go with the flow, but I'm gonna try and keep it in mind.
Yeah.
I
Oh
will.
my God. So yeah, it makes me wonder like when I would let my kids have social media.
I see so many conversations about that. I think, I don't know, but being like having mom friends, I'm sure also will really help with like, what are you doing? You know,
It's just weird that we're
it's
in
scary
that era.
though. It's scary. I know. Okay. Back to millennial things.
Booties. I always hated a booty.
Oh, the boots.
Yeah.
Booties.
Booties, not boots. Booties.
I loved a booty.
I could see you rocking a booty.
I still wear a booty sometimes, but it has to be like the right booty.
I had these ones from Steve Madden that I wore the shit out of.
Mine are Steve Madden.
They were I wore them to IMATs.
Were they suede?
No, they were like leather and like they like I fucking loved
Heels?
them. Oh my God, I love them.
Not heeled.
A little heel.
Ooh, cute.
Not too big.
Not
but a
too
little
big.
heel.
Apparently, using the laughing emoji is now out.
I knew that.
Like laughing, crying.
Like yeah, the laughing. If
still do
something's
that one.
funny, you're supposed to not put that, and you're supposed to just put the crying emoji.
But like that's sad. I'm laughing happy.
But like, no, I'm laughing. Like, I don't know why I did that.
No, I'm laughing.
But yeah, that's a thing, which I think is crazy because I don't know. Also, I saw that one of the new Apple updates soon, they're just going to use AI for emojis, so you can literally come up with whatever. Like you can just type in what emoji you want, and AI will make that emoji versus like them
Wait.
dropping new ones all the time.
That's.
Yeah, I saw that during it was like during their keynote. I saw it on TikTok.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to have like certain things not available.
Okay.
Remember when everyone wanted a white heart? Like instead you could just type like white heart emoji or black heart emoji.
Okay, there's going to be limitations.
I'm sure, but I thought that was crazy because even emojis, one day someone like our kids are gonna be like, oh my God, emojis. That's so.
How am I supposed to depict how I feel?
Right.
No, I'm here for emojis.
Oh my God, the posing of one hand up or like the teacup posing, like hand on hip.
You know what really got me? I was watching this. I have to show you. It's honestly so cute. It's these little girls singing an Olivia Rodrigo song. It's like, I'm gonna key his car. I'm gonna break his heart. Do you know that one? Unstitch it right back.
Oh yes.
I think is it Get Him Back?
Yeah.
And the little girls, she had to be like 4. She was young. We don't do hearts like this anymore.
I know, it's these
Even the little,
fucking
yeah,
things.
she was 4 and doing this. She's like, I'm gonna key his heart. I'm gonna break his heart. And I was like, she's even doing it too
This
with the
I am
fingers.
so sorry.
This is ugly.
I despise this heart, and I know that's a millennial thing to say, but I like this heart better.
Oh, that's cute. But
Like,
that's
this
this is Korean.
I know, but there's an emoji for it.
I mean, it's cute.
Like to me, this is cuter and
This
less
is
like
cute.
this is more like I'm cool girl. I don't have to try hard. This is like fucking.
It takes all of my fucking brain capacity to do this. Like my brain is fried by the time I'm done.
Yours is why is yours so crooked?
It's not good because I can't do it.
I feel like playing
Also-
guitar kind of helped me.
It's just not as cute. Like I'm sorry, this is so cute.
Also, people will just put half. They'll be like, love
Yes,
you.
I know. What is this? What is this? I think I'm aware and I understand why things are
Yes.
chuggy or millennial or whatever, but just my heart naturally goes towards millennial things and I can't fight it. It's just who I am.
No, and that's so fine.
You know, like some people have like an old soul. I have a millennial soul.
I feel like I was going to say we both have younger souls.
I'm more millennial than you, I'd say.
Really?
I don't know. I love a Bath and Body Works candle. I
I see what you mean. mean. I see what you mean in that sense.
A little homebody moment. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, like Taylor Swift, like I know she's so millennial core, and I'm like, I relate to a lot of the things she likes and
Yeah.
things.
No, I feel that.
Overall, though, that little girl is so cute. And
She's
every
so
time
cute.
I see little sisters, like a sister, a little annoying sister, and an older sister, I'm like, it's so Alisha and Ash.
I wish we had more home videos of us growing up of our dynamic, because we really don't have that many. We didn't really have a video camera growing up, but our friends did. So we'd always like film movies and stuff together. But I wish there was just like raw footage.
I love my brother so much. And I was just having this conversation with someone the other day. Like, I loved having a brother because I loved growing up and feeling like zero competition in any way. And we would fight, but like not over clothes or like the girly things.
Yeah.
We'd just fight about like stupid stuff. And I loved, like me doing the dance stuff and him doing the sports stuff. Like we never
you
had
had your
any
own thing.
overlap. Exactly. I look at people with sisters. I look at like you with a sister. I'm like, I can't imagine what that bond is like. And I know not all sisters are close.
Yeah.
But I just think it looks really fun.
I will say there's a lot of times that it's been really fun.
Sure.
Like the debriefs
Yeah.
after dates
would
or whatever.
love
It's like,
that.
oh my God, what happened? Da, 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 da. Like that. Or even just like life updates or like advice or kind of things. Not that like brothers wouldn't, but I feel like it's more like, yo, I'm cool, I'm good. You know?
We don't like, he and I will catch up, but there's like a big barrier because like we don't talk about dating, or like if I would talk to him about dating stuff, he'd just be like, I'm gonna kill him. Like he'd just be protective, where I'm like, no, like it's okay.
I will say that's what I wish, because our older half brother, like we never lived with him or anything. So having like a brother to like be protective over you, I've never experienced that really.
Aww.
Like I have, but obviously like not growing up in the same house.
Yeah.
So like to me, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like I would love, like, oh my God, I could just so picture like if I had an older, like if Ashley was a boy, like I had an older brother, her being like, don't fuck with my sister.
The dynamics they're all really beautiful. I'm just, there's something about a sister that I'm like, oh, that looks so fun.
Lots of like passive catty fighting about clothes.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure I could see that.
Yeah.
But like just a sisterly bond. I've been thinking, I mean, I'm not obviously going to have a kid, I don't think anytime soon, but you know what I love on TikTok? Is the people who guess baby names.
Remi, like that's, again, if you ever never want to be an influencer, you would be either a toy reviewer or like someone like that.
You think I would do that? I think I don't have a, I'm not
I feel
good
like you
at
would
that.
go on, you'd go on live, you wouldn't show your face, and it'd be ASMR, and you'd be like, Samantha. Like, oh, Samantha. Like,
I saw one for JC Marie Smith that someone did.
Oh my God.
And it was crazy because I think this girl's like whole shtick is she guesses influencer or celebrity baby names before the baby comes.
And are they like,
I don't know
realistic?
what her rate is. Yes and no, because also names are so fucking crazy now.
I was going to say before it was like Ashley.
Yeah. Samantha.
Yeah. Samantha.
Yeah, literally like Jocelyn. I'm sure she's done quite a few, but the one that I happened to see, she was basing off of JC and her husband's photo shoot they did in like a field, like almost like very
Like the
kind
theme.
of cottage core,
Okay.
very like of the earth, natural, organic. So she was naming all these names that could be potentially, and I think JC commented on it, and I just think it's so crazy. And so I've been thinking, if I ever have a kid, I would be so honored. We had Kelsey on, we were talking about that. I would be so honored if someone were to make a video trying to guess what my baby name would be. And
Spatula.
Let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking.
Cal and I've had a baby name forever that we really wanted to use. And I think that it'd be a good boy name. Also, I got tagged in a TikTok recently, and it was like first and middle boy names that like are so cute that you have to use. They said Remi Cruz.
I saw you post that.
Can you believe that?
For a Remi Cruz.
Well, I know Remi's a boy name also.
Yeah.
And Cruz is usually a boy name as well now.
But
And
that's funny.
imagine it, I name my son Remi Cruz Parsons.
Your impact. Your impact.
Cal and I, when we first initially started talking about kids, we're like, okay, well, what would we name our son? And I've always wanted to have a girl, but I've like never had any girl names come. But when I had this idea for this boy name, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be it. Like they're going to make the TikToks. No one's going to guess it. It's going to be so good. I've been talking about this for like years now. You know this. Now all of a sudden, and like I didn't know anybody really named that except for one celebrity, and that's it. Now it's like the new name. And there have been so many people naming their kid River. Because I was like, oh my God, River Parsons. It's going to be so cute. I love that name. And that's the only name Cal and I have both been like,
We would always
this
joke
is the name.
with you being like,
River. I'd be like, I miss up here.
River.
And so we'd always talk about it. And then more recently, Alisha and I were talking about how like, oh my God, I think River's becoming a much more popular name.
You know what's crazy is my gut knew that. Like, I feel like I remember especially when Kim named North, the world was in an uproar of like, what kind of name is that? And then like North, I remember growing up, I always wanted to name my kid Sky or like Skylar,
Cute.
guy or girl, and then Sky for short. But then there's like North, and now the world's like, or universe's elements
Literally.
are names like
Disco ball, book.
no, yes,
Plant.
or like Galaxy. Oh my God, these aren't baby names, but even when we had Parallel, all the popular names for shades, like colors, were like Sky,
Chartreuse.
or no, like rock, or like smut,
Oh.
or like all like, or river, or like all again like elements, like not dirt.
I was gonna say dirt, dust. Dust is one.
I feel like Skims also has it's like onyx or
Clay.
Yes, like
you're so
very
right.
elements, periodic table, okay, if you will,
Yeah. Women
of
in STEM.
names. And I was like, oh, so like North, Sky,
Soot.
like soot. Soot.
Soot.
I just picture being in like you're the teacher in class, like, okay, soot.
Yes.
Okay,
Even more than teacher, the substitute teacher that comes in for one day and says your name wrong. And so
Do like all those names, but I can see how it's going to become so popular because obviously growing up, someone like my sister named Ashley was always like, Mom, Dad, why did you name me Ashley? Like everyone is fucking named Ashley. And they swear on their life. They're like, no, it wasn't a popular name back in 1989. Like it wasn't a popular name. If anything, it was a boy's name before it was a girl's name.
Ashley
Ashley.
I think I have heard
And
that.
I
That's
knew
right.
there was one artist, this is so niche, Ashley Parker Angel, who me and my best friend, we were obsessed with.
What a name.
One of his songs.
Sounds like a Disney Channel
Right?
like
Ashley
character.
Parker Angel. Anyways, he was a guy. But it's funny because hello, Ashley's the most basic white girl name ever. So I'm curious now if River is going to be the new Ashley.
Yes. So we've started planning for that. And because you had brought it to my attention, like, you know, a lot of celebrities and people are starting to name their kid River.
Apple.
We should be aware. And so then I was like, oh my God, okay, you're so right. I still really love the name. But then I started thinking, you know, I'm sure Ashley was Ashley M in class because I'm sure there was Ashley J, Ashley S, Ashley M.
There was like 7 Ashleys in her class.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, okay, like, well, what would my River be?
River P.
River P.
The way that like I didn't think about the River P.
River P.
Oh.
And that's the thing. You have to be so aware of baby names now because kids are, well, always, but especially now, kids are bullies.
Yeah.
And they will pick apart. Do you ever meet someone and you're like, I never say it out loud, but if they're introduced to themselves, I'm like, ooh, that must have been a hard name growing up. That must have been a hard name.
Yeah.
So safe to say my kid will no longer be named River solely based on, I cannot, God forbid, there's one other River in the class.
River P.
That's asking to be made fun
Yeah.
of.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It's okay. It came off the baby list. So
Wait, officially?
officially, I can't have a River P.
You can't have a River P.
No,
Pool
I can't
P,
do that to
River
them.
P, Lake P,
Lagoon P, Pool
Lake.
P.
Lake's a cute name.
Lake P.
But that
I can't do any body of water
Yeah.
because it's
now you're
urine.
only rain,
P.
snow.
P.
Snow's a cute word.
Snow's cute.
Like, but again, elements, periodic table. I know snow's not on the periodic table, okay? But hydrogen,
Hydrogen P.
oxygen.
P.
There was a TikTok too I saw. It was so funny. It was like a teacher, like, or someone overheard a teacher calling like 3 kids' names to get an order or something, and it was like Dream,
Oh my God.
Fairy, and Lavender. Like
Summer Moon and what was it?
Summer Moon, Ocean.
and Ocean are going to school this summer.
Yeah, no, literally, it is funny.
Summer Moon is a crazy name too.
It's cute though.
It's cute.
And like I knew a summer growing up, but yeah, all of it together.
And you got to think of a good first middle now too, because like that's a thing.
I know.
Remi Ashton.
Alicia Marie.
Would you get called Alicia Marie when you were in trouble as a kid?
No, just Alicia.
Just Alicia?
Yeah.
Oh, mine be, or full name, Alicia Marie McDonald when you were in trouble.
You know what's weird? No, but I knew that was very common.
Yeah, I had Remi Ashton Cruz.
Oh my
I'd be
God.
like, fuck.
You're like, ooh.
Here I go.
I don't know her.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have baby names, but I did have a dream the other night. That was low key. It was, you were in it. It was so weird. We like went to a hotel or something, and then the hotel room, the whole wall was like a window to the bottom floor of like the street. so anyone could look in or out. And there was a huge curtain, but you and I were very uncomfortable. And we were like, ooh, we don't know about this. And at one point, a guy, like, there was a door also that led to that street. So it was almost like we were in a store, but it was a hotel room. Okay.
Okay.
Like a storefront store.
Yeah.
And I remember and they're like, oh, well, you can lock it and there's like a curtain. But we were like, okay, like that's fine. And you were really unsure about it. You're like,
I'm already unsure right
like,
now.
I don't know. And I was like, it's fine. Like it locks. There's a curtain. Like we'll just keep it closed the whole time.
Anyone could just bust the window.
Well, at one point, there's all these people walking by, and then this guy somehow got in because I think the doors were just like unlocked during the day or something. And he is just like sitting and chilling. And we're like, hey, I go up and I'm like, hey, sorry, you can't be here. Like this room's occupied right now, blah, 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 whatever. And he like willingly leaves or whatever. But you're like, hard no, I want to switch rooms. So I'm like, okay. We talked to the hotel person. They're like, okay, yeah. We have one other room available. They bring us to like the top floor of this stairwell that then leads out to.
Is it just you and I?
It's just you and I. And then this.
Ooh, scary.
I know. Stay clear. Then once we get to the very top, we're now suddenly like on a beach, like hill thing. And then they bring us to this room that clearly like no one has stayed in the longest time. It's like so dirty. It's so dusty. And they're like, yeah, we're so sorry. Like it is really dusty, but we don't have the cleaners come in right now and clean it. Like it was like attic vibes, like very dirty, but it had a beautiful view of the ocean. And you were like, done, love it, so much better than the other one. And I was like, dude, I think the other one's better. Like, I think if these are our two options, like.
You didn't want to view the ocean?
Well, because it was so like it was disgusting. Like it was dirty, it was dusty. And I was like, it was like those movies where they like pick off the tablecloth and it's like, and there's like dust everywhere. I was like, this is haunted. So I'm like, okay, weird, whatever. Rem wants it. Let's do it. It's fine. Our stuff's already here. It took so much effort to get down. And then they were saying they don't even know if the other room was available anymore. So we're staying at that top one. The next thing I know, we're like trying to get ready. And again, this is the common theme I'm saying. The walls were also like mirrors. So people like saw us and I kept closing the curtains. And I kept closing the curtains being like, dude, like we're just trying to get ready and I don't want like people like staring at us. But like, obviously we're just a picture like a park by the beach and then the house and with windows. Like that was us as people are like chilling, right? But they kept noticing us. Not necessarily in like oh, we know you from YouTube way, maybe, but it was more so just like, oh, we can see these people. So I kept trying to like move around, but then I look down and I like almost step on a screw. And I'm like, oh my God. So I like lean over and I pick it up and I'm like, dude, this is so dangerous. Like they need to clean this place ASAP. So I'm like, okay, let's clean this place, whatever. And I pick up a screw. The next thing I know, I look down, there's screws all over the floor, like covering the entire floor. So I try so hard, someone's looking through the window. So then I like try to like hop over there to close the curtain while picking up the screws. And I look and I'm like, there's so many fucking screws. Like, why?
I'm so sorry. That has to mean something.
No.
And I know we've talked about having a dream analysis person,
well,
but like.
We tried looking for one and I could never find someone. So if anyone knows some like dream interpreter person, let us know.
That has to mean
who's
something.
fine being on camera and on a podcast.
Yes.
So I'm like, I keep picking them up. They're like everywhere. And they're like old and like kind of rusty, right? And I'm just like, okay, but you're chilling. Like you're fine. But I was just like, what the hell? The next thing I know, I have another dream. Dachshunds was in it. It was weird. I forget what it was. That tracks. But the word screw came up in that dream. So then I wake up for real and I'm like, what the fuck does a screw mean in a dream?
Did you look it up?
Yes, because I was like, this has to mean something.
Yeah.
There were multiple different answers, but the one I found that I first Googled was screw. The association meaning a strong connection. So maybe we have a strong connection. Maybe I have a lot of not strong connections because they were rusty screws all over the ground.
Oh, wow.
The question is, what do I join? So then it says, in general, the screw in the dream is a symbol of the connection, in particular of the sexual connection. Screw can stand for a disagreeable, tricky matter in which one should not allow to get involved. The wish for security and holding on of the achieved often also appears in it. That's the other thing I saw when I was Googling it was like a secure, like holding on or security.
I can see like it attaches things together.
Very secure, more than a nail. So I was like, oh my God. If one screws a screw, one wishes a lasting respect with another. If one uses them in a dream to repair something or to build, to like maybe a creative work or project. The other thing I found was a screw represents strength, stability, and power. So wherever you find this, no, it's a overall positive omen is what came up. And I was like, what? Because I typed in, what does it mean to find screws everywhere? And then what does it mean to find screws everywhere spiritually came up. So apparently it's a positive omen, but I was like, what does it mean other than I need to get screwed?
Maybe it's just that.
And Remi loves a view.
We all knew that.
No, I literally was like, that was so weird.
That's so interesting.
I know. Also, this is just Google. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe it could be something different.
And I was trying to pick up the screws, but there was too many for me to pick up.
I like the idea of connection. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the first one was physical screws loose all over the ground. Like, think of like, what's that game with the jacks that they're like spiky little things?
Oh, isn't it jacks?
That. Picture those all over the floor. Like I was like trying to like not step on these like nasty screws. Or maybe I just need a tetanus shot. I don't know.
Imagine.
Maybe I just need to go get an update. Maybe I just need a boost. And then in the second dream, it was just the word screw that came up. It wasn't a physical one.
Like reoccurring. That
in
has
two
to
different,
be in something.
Right?
Same night?
Same night. So that's why I searched it. Because I was like, clearly if it was there twice, like that was weird. I know.
I had a bit of a scary dream last night because I watched The Perfect Wife on Hulu. Did you watch that yet?
No.
It's a crime documentary. It's crazy. You should watch it.
Well, now I'm not gonna.
It was like, it was crime, but it was solved.
Is it more thriller than like scary?
It's more just like upsetting and crazy.
Wait, I'm so shocked you watched it.
I know. But I don't really get as scared of crime stuff if it's solved.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, I'm safe.
Do you remember when I had that panic attack about the cat?
Oh, the cat
that
one.
was when my anxiety was at a
that was really bad. Don't fuck with cats.
Yes.
That was also a really scary one, I will say.
And like normally, like if I was to watch that today, it wouldn't bother me. But I just remember being like, we're alone in the woods.
Also, it was
and I'm
scary.
Die.
We're in a cabin. It was creaky.
And he was
I
like
get
a
that.
stalker. Ooh.
So this was a case that happened in 2016. Again, I recommend watching it. It's a 3-part documentary. I will say I skipped through some of the parts because someone spoiled it for me before I watched it. So I kind of knew.
Remi's also the person to be like, oh, you can tell me, I'm not going to watch it.
To be honest, this is the one I didn't want to be spoiled. I didn't even Google it beforehand.
Oh my God.
I'll give you the Spark Notes version and you should watch it. Not us becoming a crime
God.
crime podcast.
I love it.
So this happened in 2016, which is just crazy to me because there are so many of these crime things that come out that I'm like, how did I not hear about this?
But also sometimes you're like, I'm glad I don't know about everything.
That too, but I'm like, it became worldwide news or nationwide news. I'm like, how did I not know? But I'm sure I was going through some other shit in 2016. So it's a mom and a dad and 2 kids. The dad comes home from work and it's like 5 o'clock. The mom's not home. The kids aren't there. And he's like, what the heck? Calls the daycare. The kids never got picked up. He's like, oh my God. He tries to track her and her phone's at the end of the street, like a mile away. So he goes and finds the phone. It's on the ground with her iPhone, headphones, like plug-in headphones, and some hair ripped out on the ground. And so he obviously immediately is like, something's wrong. Like she got kidnapped or something happened. They called the police. They're trying to figure it out. She's a missing person, obviously. He's freaking out. He's like on the news crying every day, like looking for her. They're like having a huge investigation, obviously trying to find her. And he's freaking out. And fast forward through the first episode, they they're talking to neighbors. They hear him like yelling at her sometimes. So then obviously he becomes a suspect, and it's always like the husband, so
boyfriend, the husband.
He becomes the first suspect, and so they think it's him, and then they figure out that it's not him. 22 days later, they get a 911 call and they found her on the side of the road. She had been burned. She had like all these crazy like rashes on her arms, like from like shackles, and chained. She was chained up and had she'd been branded on her back, bruises everywhere, face bruised, everything. Like it was horrible. She's on the side of the freeway and a guy found her and they call the 911 operator and he's like, I found this lady. It's her. 22 days later, she's on the side of the road. And so they obviously bring her to the hospital. And the first episode ends with the dad, the husband. His name, I think, was Keith. Such a sweet man. Such a sweet man. He walks in the hospital, pulls open the curtain and said, because all she was like demanding was to talk to him. I only want to talk to him. Only want to talk to him. He pulls open the curtain and the first episode ends with him saying, I knew she was lying.
Dude.
Boom. Episode 1 ends.
Okay.
It's only 3 episodes.
1.
Thoughts? Yes.
That's what my guess was going to be, but I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah. That she was faking it?
Somehow she was faking it.
Why would you think that?
No, it's something I hate about my brain, but also I'm like, does that mean I'm a detective? Because I don't trust people. I'm like, what's the real truth here? No, like that's like when you mentioned hair, I was like, did she purposely put that there? But also like,
do you want me to tell you what happens or should I not?
Wait, I kind of do. Also, sorry. So he had the kids. They were fine.
They got the kids. Everything was fine. Okay. But he was like looking for her. Obviously, his wife is gone. Yeah.
So he just knew. Oh my God. Imagine that being your partner.
I know.
Like,
I know.
What?
And so fast forward, I'm skipping a bunch of parts, but apparently this woman was like known for being a liar and very manipulative, had like a lot of exes and a lot of ex-husbands and all these things. And so Nation starts to pick up on the story. And so she starts telling the story of what had happened to her. And her story is that she was running and then an SUV came and picked her up, and it was two Hispanic women. One was a larger woman, one was a smaller woman. And that she couldn't remember certain things, and she'd been gone for obviously 3 weeks. And so people across the nation who were just interested in the story, a lot of people I'm sure who were like crime bloggers or things like that.
I'm sure like I guarantee Ashley knows this because she's obsessed with the true crime.
I think I'm assuming it was a big story to make it into a documentary, and the documentary is really big on Hulu right now. Apparently people who are like interested in crime started to like listen to the story and started to poke holes, being like, her story is like not adding up. And she specifically had explained like, oh, you know, where were you? And she couldn't like say it, you know, like her story it had a lot of holes. And so she was explaining like what the house looked like and how they're like the closet was very specific and had this like long corkscrew through and all these things. And so, they're trying to find these women that she's saying, kidnapped her and, beat her and bruised her and branded her and all these crazy things, obviously. And so, the husband is like trying to be supportive and like help throughout this whole process that happened in 2016. Then it shows like throughout the years, they're like trying to figure it out, but they didn't like find anything till I think it was 2020. Oh. And so now it's like peak pandemic and she's home with the kids and, she's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so, they just kept running DNA over and over and over on the clothes that she came back in. And again, a lot of the public is like, this doesn't make sense. We don't know. They're still like trying to figure it out. They have no leads. Finally, they run the DNA again and it strikes a match for her ex-boyfriend who was on the Anaheim Ducks.
What?
I know. Isn't that crazy? And so they go to his apartment in Costa Mesa. He's literally just living like in Costa Mesa, and they go see him. And this guy was like moronic. You know how normally if you participate in a crime, they probably have to like coax you or, offer some sort of plea like, oh, well, if you do this, like we'll give you a lesser sentence. The way they walk in and he immediately spills everything. He's just like, oh, I got a letter in the mail from her. Like they had burner phones and she would like talk to him from here and there. And she basically like gave him her address and then was like, pick me up on this day at this time. And he was just like, okay. And he just like drove up and like picked her up in the car. And when they knew that it was the place, because when they walk in, his house is exactly what she was explaining. And it's so crazy watching because they're in the interrogation room and they had the husband come in and like they're talking about obviously like how they do things, because I'm sure there's like a formula and like a way to do protocol. Things. So they bring him in so that they could like study his reaction and her reaction and see like their conversations and everything. So the poor husband is like so excited because yes, Keith. Okay, so they show him the photos and he's like, yes, this is the place that she's explained. Like, oh my God, like so excited. And you can tell she's like freaking out now, obviously. So then they're like, either he can stay or he can go. Like what do you want to do? Yeah. And he's like, obviously I want to stay. Like, oh my God, this is like amazing. And so she's like, tells them to leave the room. Obviously they're filming the conversation. So the two of them are sitting there and she suddenly switches her tune. And so what she had said is that between the two women that quote unquote kidnapped her, one, they got into a fight, one killed the other, and then the one that was living let her go. So now she's like, well, I don't want them to catch her because she is like the reason why I'm with my kids now. And so she starts singing this different tune, obviously, because they're catching up to her. So she's like, no, I don't want to find her. I don't want to look into it anymore. I know.
Any person in their right mind would say, find them so they don't do this to anyone else?
I know.
And also kill anyone
and
else?
The husband is like, it's so crazy watching this because the husband in the room is like, well, you don't have to press charges then, but like we need to find her. Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't want to. And like, crocodile tears, crying. And he's like, you're scaring me. Like, this isn't making sense. Like, you need to tell me the truth. They come back in, they show the photos. They're like, this is James's house, her ex-husband or boyfriend or whatever. And she's just like, oh my God, so he was involved. It's just like so crazy. So when they went to the boyfriend's house or the James, the Anaheim Duck guy, he's immediately gives it all up. He's like, she had me come pick her up. She left the phone, staged it there. She gets in the car.
So he knew about it.
There were never the women. The women didn't fucking exist. She's racist and did all, which they allude to that. They didn't say like word for word, but like I guess she had written this really crazy, like very racist article when she was younger that was published, and she was like, it was a joke. Like someone did it as a joke, and the husband was like, I was a class clown, and there was never. Like, that's not funny. Like,
also,
we don't,
the
people
fact
don't do that.
She made up these two women and then decides to put make it a big deal about the race. Like, what the fuck?
This was during the 2016 Trump election. Like, this was 2016. So they're like saying all this without like saying it. And so she was basically like, you know, literally the guy is like, yeah, we bought the brand. She had me brand her. He's like, she had me shoot hockey pucks off her legs. Be like, hit me with a hockey puck to bruise her. And like all this crazy shit.
Did he think it was like a like kinky thing that she was?
I think he just like wasn't, I'm assuming, fully there. And also I think that he just like would do anything for her. Like she was very manipulative in that way.
That's why I was like, maybe it was like a kinky thing. Or
that's the way they like spun it. And so she for 22 days sat at his apartment and would like run into his hockey sticks and like bruise herself. Watched the family on the news every day looking for her.
Fuck that shit.
Crying in hysterics for her. On day 22, she was like, I'm ready to go. And he's literally word for word goes, yeah, I was bummed, because then she just like wanted to leave. And she had him drive her back up, leave her on the side of the freeway, or she like left her in a parking lot. She ran to the freeway, and then that's when that guy found her. But they knew all this, but they were waiting for her to like give it up in this room. Mm-hmm. She didn't. She like stuck with her crazy story. So then the husband like stepped out because he's upset, and he was like, I fully expected them to arrest her in that room, but they didn't have enough to arrest her, so he had to go home with her.
Trying to sleep in the same bed and like cuddle. And
he was like, I don't want to be with you right now. And then but also, he said he got really upset.
When that's your spouse, like you obviously don't want to assume the worst. So for it not to be like, if she's like, oh thank God I'm home, I just want to like cuddle on the couch, like, but everything in you is like, I don't want to be around you, but also you don't want to be like,
you also don't know.
You don't know, even though you know, but like you don't want to be like
his gut knew. And so he said, because it's him telling all the documentary, like this poor sweet man. And so he had said that he left and was like, ew, I don't want to be around you. And that the chief had been like, we're looking to arrest her. And basically like, he was expecting her to be arrested the next day. That one day went by. Another day went by. Another day went by. And so eventually he was talking to like some male figure in his life, and the male figure was like, you know, it's at this point it's her story versus theirs. Like, you know, I can't tell you what to do, but do you want your kids to not have like a mom? Do you like,
yeah,
you know,
sorry, bye.
But like he was like, it could also be so untrue. And she's obviously like manipulating him, texting him every day, like, I miss you. Like you have it all wrong. So eventually he takes her back, and like they're in the house together with the kids. Now it's like peak pandemic, and they're in quarantine. Together. And he said there was like so much tension, but like he's still unaware. What he thought was going to be the next day she got arrested turned into like 19 months. It took them like that long. So she finally
got arrested?
Like the FBI got involved. They come and arrest her because I think they did. I forget. They like pulled like 35 subpoenas or something crazy. Yeah. They figured it out through like the burner phones and like all these call logs.
You do need an actual evidence.
Yeah, you need a reason.
Me, a detective. Yeah. Obviously you do need some hard evidence.
You do. and they were able to find it.
Wow.
So they come and they arrest her. And then she ended up going to trial, went to jail for not nearly as long as she should have. And
I just worry about the kids.
I know.
In custody.
And so the dad has the full custody, and like I hope that he made a lot of money to support the kids off this documentary, but it was crazy.
No,
people are fucking crazy.
That's insane. I'm so shocked. I also didn't hear about that.
I know, it was huge, and it was in, I believe, California.
Well, yeah, because what's the boyfriend up to? Is he still on the Ducks?
That's what I needed to know. I was like, did he go to prison? He is now somewhere else.
He's like playing for a team in Canada.
No, it's fucking crazy.
My first thought was like, maybe they tried to like write it off as like, oh, she was just trying to be kinky. Like it wasn't like abuse. But like, even that, I'm like, dude, you don't look good. Like no matter, even if you gave up your story right away, like him not trying to hide anything, like, and yeah, I branded her. Like what?
But even like, besides that, like there for 22 days, the news was covered in looking
them
for
watching-
her. So there's like nothing. Yeah, there's
Or maybe
it's all really fucked up.
That's a whole other level of fucked up to like that type of attention.
I mean, I just told you everything, but you should watch it.
No, yeah. I need to talk to Ash about it. Ashley's obsessed with My Favorite Murder. So she like literally I think it's every Thursday. She's like, it's My Favorite
Ask
Murder
her
day.
about it.
At least it seems like is when you have a true crime podcast, obviously there's like the big stories, but then it's easy to like kind of run out of things to talk about because there's only so many like serial killer type things. But then there's things like this. Are we like a true crime podcast?
I think for today we might be, even though I just gave it all away and probably didn't do a good job at explaining it.
Whatever, it's fine. That's crazy.
I have to recommend it. It was a really good documentary.
Dude, my first thought was like, hair, interesting.
I know. It was jarring to watch for sure.
Holy shit.
People are nuts. I can't even.
Oh my God. And then it's like, yeah, dude.
I was just like, from the beginning, I'm like, it just gave me a weird feeling.
Yeah. And then
sure.
also it's easy. This is how my brain works too. You're like, well, clearly if they made a documentary out of it, this has to be like crazier than you think. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, this clearly
it's not A to B.
Yeah. You're like, this clearly is going somewhere.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck's happening?
It was it was real, but it's just a crazy story.
God. Wait, I loved that.
More
of that. I'm so proud of you. I feel like you never would watch anything like that.
It was.
Was Cal watching it and then you like put down your phone because you were interested?
No, I watched it the whole time.
By
I know.
yourself?
I did. Well, Perla and I together.
Oh, love it.
Always getting my nails done.
God. Well, leave down some comments of any movie, show, documentary.
Any crime documentary where they found the person would be nice to know.
Some good stuff, because maybe we'll become the Scholastic Book Fair, or maybe we'll become Letterbox.
Dream.
And, we'll be a movie reviewer. Who knows what we'll be next week?
Our world is our oyster.
No, literally, Remi. I'm so glad we're on the same page.
Love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And we post new episodes every Wednesday.
Love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.